Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Is another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I said, what? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, another one. Buy-up, buy-up, buy-up. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You already know what it is, man. Back at it like a torta with the Twinkie habit. And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, we're going to get straight into some serious business. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button so that way you're abreast of all the dope content that I'm bringing all week long. Because I got to make sure my hat's adjusted. Whole lot of mo for you. Now, trip out. You see the thumbnail and you realize that them are two youngsters right there on that thumbnail. Two kids out of Las Vegas, two sociopaths. And let me explain where I came to that assumption, because it's just an assumption on my part that they're sociopaths. And I know if you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. But in this case, I'm assuming because I've seen plenty of people like them, misguided youth, right? Maybe not necessarily sociopaths in that take, but they're heading down that long road, and they're definitely going to get harder and meaner and colder if someone doesn't step in and lace them up with some real game. Help them out, because these youngsters really need help. Now, there was a crime spree that happened the other day in Las Vegas. And what happened was these two youngsters decided that if for no other reason, they were going to do what kids nowadays do. And that's have a little fun. They were going to go burglarize a home, steal a vehicle allegedly. Now, all this is allegedly. It's an ongoing case. We don't want to put nothing on anybody's plates. That's not what we do right here. But we're going to take it for what it is, man. These kids supposedly and allegedly broke into... Guard! Did they do it? I don't know. He's going to say, yeah, I'm going to say, I don't know. They allegedly broke into a home, stole the vehicle, and went on a joyride. A crime spree. To which these babosos, yes, and I say babosos, and I say that with a heavy heart and real, I pronunciate that shit strongly, because they decided they were going to run over people on bikes. Hit people. They thought that was going to be fun. Now, this takes me back to a couple years ago when people were playing the hit 'em up game. You know, pulling up on old people, socking them in their face, giving them the tiger uppercut, just because they could. Victimizing innocent people, civilians. Now, I don't know what game they play, but in the game that I was playing and the one I was laced in, that really wasn't no game, it was real life, civilians were off limits. Now, if you want to burglarize a home, throw a little pistol in someone's face, take what they got because you need that, that's on you, man. You're going to reap the rewards or the repercussions for your actions, but at the same time, you can't just go victimizing innocent people, especially old people, women, or children. That's not cool. Oh, that ain't cool, though. They're going to call you the culo or go up in it. And my name ain't Bennett, but I will say this. These two kids nonchalantly chose to do this. They thought it was fun, man. You know, I always pitied and I always fucking was pissed when them kids, you know, were running up on people, socking them in their faces or, you know, disrespecting them or spitting on them. And I hate people that bully other people because they think it looks cool or they're trying to get some respect. They ain't getting respect, man. If anything, man, they're going to be the ones victimized and they're going to find themselves in a situation in prison or incarcerated or anywhere where they're the victim and they're going to wonder why. Why did I do all that? They're going to reflect on back. See, memory, you have muscle memory and you have mind memory, right? And you start to realize all the things that you've ever done to people. When karma catches up to you and shit catches up to you, now you're not in the driver's seat no more and now you're riding shotgun and you start to realize, damn, homie, I wish I'd have never did that. Or fuck, why did I do that for? How come and why come and why come I didn't come? That's what they're going to think. Because I know I've been in situations like that where I've done bad things to people, man. And then I realized later on, like, fuck, I should have never did that, Holmes. Because karma always catches up. Oh, it most definitely, indubitably does, right? Old school, antennas, indubitably. You know what it is. These kids decided to go on this crime spree and hit innocent people riding on bikes. Now, of course, one of these, it was fatal. You know, one of these older gentlemen, I think he was 60 plus years old that they ran over, just happened to be, oh, what a coinky dink. This is the way life works out. He just happens to be a retired chief of police. Oh, say it ain't so, right? One thing about a police officer is once one, always one. Once he was affiliated or associated with the police department at the highest degree, the fucking chief. This guy ran over the chief of police, right? These two gentlemen are in a whole world of trouble. But that's not even where it begins and where it stays. Where it begins is the tendencies and the sociopathic behaviors that they're displaying. The nonchalantness, the not giving a fuck, the no remorse. You know, if you do something like this, I understand that you have an image to uphold and you're trying to be cool. But I think, one, either these kids don't really care and they're just they got the killer inside of them, or two, they just don't realize what they're about to go through. Babosos, right? Straight up idiots and dummies all packaged in one. Because what happens is they go to court, and as these two youngsters are going to court, they're laughing at the victim's daughter, they're laughing at the victim's wife, they're laughing, smiling, flipping off the cameras, making a show out of it. You know, when they arrested one of these youngsters, the Mexicano one, because it was one black, one Mexican. When they arrested the Mexicano one, and I don't want to use their names because they're still young, so I won't use their names on my platform because they're still minors, even though they're charged as adults. When they arrested one of them, he was laughing in the back and asking the cop to take him to Wingstop because he wanted that double up on the wingalizations. Let me tell you something, buddy. You ain't going to taste chicken wings like that for a very, very long time. The cop was being serious and told him, and I don't usually agree with the police, but in this case, I have to say, when he told him you're facing 20 or 30 years, this kid was laughing, thinking, I'm going to get charged as a minor. I'm going to get charged as a youth, man. I'll do 30 days, slap on the pinchy wrist, and I'll be up out of here and walking like a motherfucker, Walking Dead, right? I'll be getting my groove on. That's not to be the case. See, what people don't understand nowadays is them being charged as minor charges and all that thing. That's a thing in the past. Let's let that go in the 90s. About the 2000s, that started to cease to exist. There are some kids that got lucky and were able to be charged as minors, but for the most part, man, it's all adult shit now. I know in the state of California, they've abolished the youth time. There's no more CYA. There's no more getting charged as a minor. You're now charged as an adult, and you sit in a facility till you are old enough to be placed in a fucking adult facility, and there you go, toma. You're gonna get the same amount of time that anyone else would get. Now, if these kids have priors, juvenile priors, I don't know if they can use those against them, but they're going to make it a point to splash these kids, to basically sit them down for a very long time. I mean, they hit a chief of police. Once a cop, always a cop. If you think that the community of policeism ain't together on this one, then you're gravely mistaken. They don't care if you're young, 8, 9, 10 years old. If you hurt a police officer, man, you're going to get something coming. You're going to get a whole lot more coming to you. And it only starts at that level. Imagine once they're incarcerated and the correctional officers know exactly what they're incarcerated for. Oh, it's going to be a bumpy road. A fucking bumpy road. Now, the reason I say sociopath or sociopaths in the thumbnail, or I put it on the thumbnail, was because the characteristics that these kids are displaying are those of a sociopath. Someone who's escaped from reality or detached from reality, doesn't care, will laugh in the victim's face, shows no remorse, shows no integrity, shows no pride or respect for people. These are the type of people, man, that you'll run into in everyday life. But when you see one, you should know one. You know, there's narcissistic people, people whose shit don't stink. And then there's crazy psycho people, right, that just kill to kill. But socials are different. A sociopath will hurt you and then laugh in your face about it. They're detached from reality, meaning it doesn't affect them one way or the other. Now, I don't think that to be the case in this case. I think more so these kids are not laced up. They're not gained up. They're two young bucks who think they're bad, man. They need their fucking ass kicked. Let's just be real. Let's keep it all the way a buck. These kids need their ass kicked. Their parents didn't do a great job. Or maybe they tried to do a good job and didn't do the best job that they could because these kids weren't listening. That's what's wrong with youngsters nowadays, gente. Wake up. That's why, hey, we have to discipline in our house. I don't give a fuck. Put them in the corner. Make them lift the weight over their head. So I can kneel on rice. Do whatever the fuck it is that you have to do to make these kids pay attention and learn the valuable lesson you're trying to teach them. You know, in order to have a future, a great future, a hard-working future, people uniting, coming together to fight the good fight against those that oppose and oppress us, we have to have the young bloods, man, taking care of what they need to take. Oh, power! We need to have them taking care of what they're taking care of. But if they're out there hurting old people, thinking that it's cool, asking the police officer when the guy was incarcerated, can you take me to Wingstop? Am I going to be on the news? Yeah, but also you're going to be on the news. And people like Gunners Collective is going to be doing videos about you, not to shed light on you and not to give you the clout that you're so desperately seeking, but to let everyone know you're a poop butt. You know, anybody who takes advantage of people that can't defend themselves or hits innocent people while they're riding bikes is a poop butt. What do you gain out of that? What type of respect in the barrio or the hood or on the streets does that do for you? Hey, guess what we did last night, homie? It was fucking cool, eh? Are you ready? That's good. Hey, oh, you shot someone? That's cool, that's cool. Guess what I did? Yeah, there was a vato, he was riding a beach cruiser. I ran him over, eh? Did that. Oh, is that right? Yeah, we did that. After, hey, we stole some of Viejitas' cars. They stole her car and shit. You know what I mean? You know how we do it. Pa-da-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa. Nah, you're not going to get no love for that. No respect. If anything, you're going to get slapped in your boca. Right in your teeth. They're going to knock your toofuses, loofuses. And I'm going to tell you why. Because that ain't cool. Ain't nothing cool about hurting innocent people or people that can't protect themselves. And that goes in every gang, every area, every hood near you, every theater near you. There's not one hood or gang that I've ever come across, man, that they like to victimize people because they can. Now, there are some places and some things that I'm unknowing of, man, and I'm not going to name them, that will go out of their way to hurt you and your familia and all that. But usually everything is done for repercussions of an action that you've done. You know what I mean? We'll just leave it at that. But what these kids did is just fucking clown shit. You know? So what happens now? Well, they just went to court. They're clowning. They're laughing at the victims, smiling in their faces, thinking that they're cool guys. And they get charged as an adult. So let me tell you what happens now, sirs. Since they're sirs now. They're adults. They're no longer considered minors. I don't know if they're going to be moved from the facility that they're in for the minors to the adult facility, but more than likely if they're charged as adults, that's going to happen eventually. Now, what's going to happen is a long, drawn-out process where they're going to start telling on each other more than likely. One's going to start pointing the fingers at the other one when they're facing 20 or 30 balas. And usually it's the one with the chest all puffed out that thinks he's cool that's asking for Wingstop. He's usually the first one to break like scrambled eggs. You know, but don't let me shit in your scrambled eggs, homie, when I tell you the truth of the matter is you guys are both going to crumble. That's just the DNA of individuals like that. People that take advantage of other people when it comes their turn, when it comes their time, they don't shine, man. They shy away from it. Now they don't want to be on camera. Now they don't want to be laughing at people. Now they want to fucking hold up a little letter and talk about how they're remorseful and how they're sorry for running a man over. Now, it's all fun and games when you're hurting people, but you're not thinking about the repercussions of what could happen at the end of that reading rainbow. Yes, LeVar Burton, let me tell you what could happen. They ran this old man over not knowing that it was a victim, a very fucking harsh reality is that he was a police officer or a retired police officer. Like I said, once one, always one. Okay? That right there is stacking upon stacking upon stacking. Stack them up, right? They charge them with so many different crimes, so many different things. And the reason they did this is like they do to all of us that get incarcerated, man. It's so that they could make something stick on you. Oh, the district attorney knows exactly what they do. They're going to get you while they hit you. And that's real. Okay? So now they're charged as an adult. There's no more bedtime story. No more leche con cookies. There's no more, hey, walking with your hand behind your back to the shower area. Now you better walk behind your back before fucking Bubba rams that culo. That's how it is. Now, I've never been locked up in the Nevada Department of Corrections, Las Vegas. I've never done time out there. So I'm not sure of the DNA and the makeup of how it get, the get down. But I definitely know that they're hard as nails out there. From everything that I've heard from people that have done time out there, they're real. And when you become notorious in the notoriety of your case, and yes, it is all on TV and everybody's watching, let me tell you what happens, eh? Let me flip this down so we can get real MacGyver on them. Let me tell you what happens. Vatos will want to test the ability of what you got going on. A lot of people don't appreciate, see, a lot of these vatos that are locked up, pura, the wind's blowing, quietly as it's kept, knowledge you can't get at college. A lot of these guys that are locked up have children, have grandparents, have parents, man, that are older age, that ride their bikes for exercise, that are getting out there to have, get fresh air, that have worked their whole lives to establish things and set a foundation for their family. And yeah, they made a mistake and they're incarcerated, but they still love their loved ones. And people like you, these two youngsters, man, go and run people down. And there was 3 victims, not only one allegedly, but 3. And one just happened to be a police officer. So of course, because he's the one that passed away, this is the one that they're focused more so on. And of course, that's what it's going to be like. These kids are in trouble. Okay, they're in trouble. They're going to go down a dark road to which they're out no return. Usually when you're accused of a crime against a police officer, man, you better pray, homie. I said you pray. Pray, I said you pray. I said pray. They better pray that they can make it today because tomorrow ain't promised. Now, incarceration, man, is different for those who think they're cool and they're bad. I ain't never seen a person in my life get locked up that thought he was bad, chest puffed out. He was that one, be that one. Usually the ones that are that one don't speak on it, don't talk about it. They just go in there, do their time, and gradually through pegadas and through levels and status and whatever, they accumulate and associate themselves with the people that they need to. They accumulate that power. kids that go in there or youngsters that go in there with their chests all cocked out, orale rooster, and all that bullshit, right? Usually get fucked by a black dude named Imani. That's just what be like. Spencer. I told him a primo. Right? That's just how it is. But I will say this. You know, ain't nothing cool about this crime. You know, it was all over the internet, man. You know, it's going viral and some people are talking about it. And I don't think these guys should be getting this attention and this clout. I'm just trying to give a word to the wise. I truly hope they can get their shit together. As far as sociopaths and being all crazy and all fuck, I don't care. They care. Deep down, they care. They're putting on a front for the cameras. But anytime that you have a victim, and I mean, it wasn't like it was meant to happen, man. These kids were just having a good time. What they thought was a good time, what I thought was fucking punk shit. And someone died. And that's how easy it is. That's how fucking easy it is for someone to come up short. You know, and then to brag in the cop car because they've recorded everything. They got body camera footage. These kids were stupid enough to record the crime spree. Bowel, so just gave up the whole info, just told on themselves for reals. Now that's telling, you know what I mean? Just told on themselves. Hey, did you see that? Did you see the way his foot was out twinkling when he was walking? Come on now, man, ain't nothing funny about that. Stop it, right? The funny thing is when you're locked up with fucking a guy named fucking Big Jaime, and he's telling you, shut up. And that's what's funny to me. Now, I had a homeboy. We were young, man. He was 16 years old. I was 11, 12 years old. We were on the run, right? I was on the run from my murder case. We ended up going out to North Carolina, to which we got busted. We got pulled over. There was a scrap in the car. I knew that was it, man. Now, everybody wasn't facing murder charges. I was the one on the run. My homeboys were just with me. You know, they just went out with me for fun. And we were out there doing crime, out there doing whatever we were doing. We were young, we're stupid, man, but we weren't hurting innocent people. Yeah, we broke in a few innocent people's homes. Spencer, I apologize, right? But we weren't out there fucking socking people for no reason or running them over while they're on bikes and none of that. We just break in and steal a little bit of money. That was it. You know what I mean? Don't be mad. It's part of the game. And I remember when we got caught with the strap and the cops had the pistols on us and they made us put all our hands up, you know, up on the roof to make sure that we don't have no more weapons on us. They started to pull us out the car one by one. And I remember my homeboy Izzy, he was clowning, he was talking shit. He was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck, homie. You know what I mean? I'm young. What are you going to do? Send me to juvenile hall? Whoop-de-whoop, wop-de-wop. Talking all that high-power shit. And the cop was just laughing at him. And I remember looking at the cop, and I seen this look in the cop's eye like, oh, you don't know, huh? And I looked at my homeboy, and my homeboy's face dropped when the cop told him, how old are you? He said, I'm 16. I don't care. Ooh. And he said, okay, yeah, well, guess what? 16 is considered an adult here. You're going to county jail. And that was the last time I ever seen my homeboy. You know, we got separated. I went to YA. He went to the county, whatever. But I remember his face changing, you know, because now he was going to be where the big boys play. Now he was going to be where it's for reals, where it's for keeps. See, I went to juvenile hall and did the whole juvenile thing, got charged as a juvenile, did my time in CYA, then got out and then went right back to it, right? It changed his whole life. From what I heard, man, he was a changed man. Stop fucking up and all that. Sometimes you need things like this, man, eye-openers, you know, because usually the person the loudest talking all the high-power shit is usually the one that will crumble, like I said, usually not the one that will bumble. In this case, man, these two youngsters, they still have a chance. Hopefully, man, there's some programs or something to help them, and hopefully they get laced up and gamed up by some real ones, man, that see the potential in these kids. If not, it's going to happen like it happens to so many other people, myself included, man. You know, you don't get gamed up right, man. You don't get laced up right. You get led down the wrong path, and eventually, man, you know, you're going to succumb to your inner demons, man, and you're just going to be a fool. Then you really are going to be a sociopath. Then you're really not going to care what people think. And then, and only then, man, are you going to realize you wasted a perfectly good life. And it all started back when you and your homeboy thought you were cool and wanted to run over bicyclists. It's a fucking stupid game. With that being said, gente, look into it. It happened in Las Vegas. Two young kids, like I said, I won't say their names. We don't do that right here. And it's all allegedly because it's an ongoing case, but it's pretty much on camera. And you got to hear what he told the cops in the car. Hey, can we stop at Wingstop? You should give me something to eat, eh? And the cop told him, nah, you're going to get 20 or 30 years. 20 or 30 years? Yeah, he asked that question a few times, huh? With that being said, I hope that you move with a purpose. It's up to us as parents, as guides, as people that are out there, man, to uplift the youth, man, and let them know exactly what time it is. They can get caught up and lose everything just like that, man. They could stop before they even fucking start. Go out there and do it for your familia, man. I'm going to do it for mine. With that being said, move with a purpose. Hustle, because that's what it's all about. thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this crown, and I'm going to continue to strive and struggle and struggle and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. As far as these young kids that are hitting people and running people over and sucker punching people, fuck you. Bang, bang, the gun.